have a stab at the dark at what I'm doing with this. I've got my bag full of sterile brome. Job's done. So that's all our fertiliser for next season bought. Morning, Holly. There we are, a wee cami. Ah, ya bandit. Back from being on tour and we're at eggs. Smashing. So this is a delivery that goes out every week. I think we have 2 go out every week deliveries. Usually this gets done by someone in the shop, but we're down staff members at the moment. So this is my Sunday evening activity. So 150 dozen of these boxes to do. How many dozen of these? There's 170 in a box times 7 different boxes to get stamped. So luckily I've got a helper to do some of these. A few more to do. Those 2 boxes, then we're good, and then just need to finish off boxing up all of these. Getting there, halfway. Taking these bandits for a walk, come on. The lambs keep escaping and eating the sunflowers, so hopefully this field's got less holes. Just had a delivery there. This is a new bit for the grain dryer. So at the base there's sliding vents, I'll just show you in a second, but it's a replacement vent section. That vent there and that vent there, basically they've got a bit of corrosion down the base here. It just basically makes the vents pretty inefficient because the air gets in the base. So there's 2 new panels for those 2 in that crate to get fitted. This is all needing a squash. Oh, I dropped the can. San Pellegrino, lemon. Coming up to yard number 2 where Kev and 3 other guys, a squad, are in roguing the oats again to try and get the rest of the barley out. And there's a patch of sterile brome, which is not dissimilar to blackgrass. I'm going to go and rogue it and bag it up, so I've brought bags along. I'm not actually sure where it is. It's that field right there. Go and pull them out, bag them up and take them out of the field because the seeds just drop off and reseed and it just multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. There you go, so that's the sterile brome. You can see the patch we've got. So I've done all around about it and made sure, and then I've just got this patch through the middle to do. I will mark on what 3 words this location, come back and do this bit again just to check there's no more sterile brome because it's horrible stuff. So I'm going to hammer it now and make sure it's gone. This is probably from 2 seed years, so 1 seed will have come into the ground, grown, reseeded everywhere, and then that batch is grown again and reseeded, and that's what it's made. You can imagine you don't get a hold of that for 2, 3, 4 years and all over the place. With these I'm just trying to get right down to the root, feel for the rest of them. That's the root of 1, so there's a few round about it. Grab as many as you can. The thin scraggly ones, that's the sterile brome, and the rest should be oats. And chuck them in the bin bag, take them out in the field. Right. There we go, they come out fairly easy. You get rogues for 2 reasons: 1, that come in the seed, 2, that come up from the year before in the same soil. This has obviously come up from the same soil because it's all in one clump. If it was in the seed, it'd be spread out over the field, and also you can tell because the seed's not in the rows. So here's an example of it not being in the rows. So that's some sterile brome here, and this side's 1 row of oats and that's the other row. So that's why you can tell with that it didn't come in the seed. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but can you tell below my thumb the wax is still there on the leaf, and then above my thumb that's where the hail's battered that leaf. It was sitting like that, so the bottom bit's still all waxy and the top, the wax all get ripped off and bits of the leaf stripped. Right, job done. I've got my bag full of sterile brome, decent bag full. Didn't take too long actually, it was all in the 1 patch. It's not spread far, which is good. Hopefully we've got it fairly early. We'll need to come out and just keep an eye on that patch before harvest because the seeds shed before we harvest the crop as well. While I'm here, I'll just have a nip round these cows, see how they're getting on. I could do with a bit of rain, to be honest, get the grass growing a bit. As you can see, there's not loads of grass kicking about, so it's needing a bit of water, to be honest, to get it flying a bit. Oats are looking significantly less like barley now. So this is the 3rd day of having a squad in, Kev's with them today as well, roguing. It was a bit of a task, but we wanted to salvage some of it. At least we're not doing the whole, it's only 25 acres and not 8 acres or whatever that field is. We once had a field at home which is about 50 acres or something like that a couple of years ago, and it was a squad of seven of us. It took us a week to rogue it, a week straight. Oh, that wasn't fun. Right, load of fertiliser, some not 2030, just arriving in half an hour, so I'm away to unload that. So I didn't really explain it the other day when I said we ordered fertiliser. I was explaining the fertiliser there, but I was just rambling on and it was taking too long. Long story short, we buy our fertiliser normally at the start of the year. We put in our order to a company called CMG or Openfield, say what we need for the year. We've done that for about 6 years now, and it's been beneficial 4 out of the 6 years. 2 of the years it wasn't, so still worthwhile going for them. So that's why we still went with that method of buying our fertiliser this year. Put in our order 3 weeks ago, and then a week and a half later we got an email saying it's all bought, it's all ordered, job's done. So that's all our fertiliser for next season bought. A lot of it's been delivered or being delivered. So yeah, that's the fertiliser situation, and that's how we've ended up with everything for next year. Whether it's a good idea, bad idea, I don't know. Since we bought that, the price has already gone up again. So with the wheat price where it is right now, it's viable to be buying the fertiliser at that price. The only issue is, one, if yields are useless, we're stuffed. If cereal prices come down, we're also stuffed. So hopefully we're not stuffed. Slightly daunting one, because you're not going to see the return from that crop for quite a wee while now, because fertiliser for next year's crop, that next year's crops isn't going to be even harvested for another year and 2-3 months. So 15 months till we're actually getting a product off the ground off of what we're buying right now. A bit of a long-term play. Hopefully it'll work out. Nothing we can do about it now, just sit still and hope the price of cereals stays steady or even goes up. As a non-expert looking in, it seems like it shouldn't come back. The war's not looking like it's going to stop. America is having a rough season of sowing. Canada's having a pretty low yielding harvest, I think. Australia's wet, so there's not too many positives. Obviously the UK is having quite a good year, but in the grand scheme of things, the UK doesn't actually affect the markets that much. China's a big unknown. You never really know what's actually going on in China. There's loads of wheat about in Ukraine, I think, in terms of last year's stores, but can't get it on boats to get it out. No one's going to insure a boat in there to get it out. Trains and lorries just can't handle the capacity that the boats can. Next year's harvest statistics say that they're back 22% on what they've sown, which seems like they've done pretty well to get all that in the ground, but 22% amounts to a lot. So it doesn't seem like there's much scope for the price to come back, especially not in the short term, and hopefully not in the long term now. Wheat right now, it is kind of spiking up and down 20-30 quid here and there, but that's most likely due to traders and financial guys kind of moving it about a bit to use that price jump to make money from. So the general trend still seems to be creeping up the way if you average out all those spikes. But that's what they were mentioning at the agronomy meeting. That's most likely the reason for the spikes, and general trend is going up, still going to go up. With that 30, I'll need to keep going anyway. Cross the fingers, touch the wood. Shifting some leftover sulphur nitrogen out the road, because the P&K is going to go in that corner. There's a lorry for fert. I think I'll be getting a farmer's tan from that. Maybe farmer's burn actually. The final bag. Job done. My arm's definitely burnt. No bags dropped, no bags ripped, no fert spilt. Have a stab at the dark at what I'm doing with this in this field. Not too difficult, I guess. Mowing the path. Also, I've got to pick up some sunflowers where I would be mowing because I need to replant these basically. I'll show you that in a second. This bit here where the tulips were, there's a bit of path in here, but basically the sunflowers are coming. There they are. There they are. But there's quite a lot that have been nicked by crows. I'm not 100% sure if they're going to come. So where I've been cutting them anyway, I've stopped, pulled out some. I'm going to plant them, and if they come, they come. No harm done apart from a bit of time spent planting them, but I'm just being rough and ready, and if they take hold then I'll come back with a trowel and do quite a lot, because Just need to do this section here, not all the way down there, that'd be daft. Just from here up. What's the verdict, gardeners out there? If I go like this, go like that, go like that, and go like that, will that sunflower grow? Put your predictions below. I don't have too much hope for them, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. We'll give it a try. Starting to get there with the sunflowers. It's quite a bit of a task this year, figuring out what we're doing. But we're getting there. You'll find out a lot more later. You can see them all there though, facing the sun, soaking up the sunlight. Weather's been fantastic for them, to be honest. It's going to rain on Wednesday. Good day of rain will suit everything, to be honest. Everything's needing a wee drink. Keep the heat up, it's warm, more sunlight. Everything's looking good at the moment, touch wood. There'll be some of you questioning whether this is far too early to be cutting a trail into the sunflowers. Yes, you could think the sunflowers are going to converge in and kind of close off any path because they're only at this height right now. But the edge of the sunflowers over there last year, from where the seeds were planted to where the heads were, there's maybe 6-inch overlap. So I'm not too worried about 6 inches either side. That's manageable. Let's go see what this mound is like now. Should be fine. It got graded a wee bit shallower. Yeah, no bother. Up and over. Perfect. Good dog. Still need to get rid of these. Cheers for watching. I'll see you in the next video. It's been absolutely roasting. Definitely burnt my arm sitting in that forklift for a wee while, but it's nice to have good weather for once. Cheers for watching. If you've not already subscribed, then down in that corner or that corner, there's a red button. Click subscribe, it helps the channel. You can also click the wee bell icon. If you go on the bell, you can change it so you can get notifications when my videos come out. Cheers for watching. See you tomorrow.